Hi, I'm Cory Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Jayco Motorhomes. And folks, today I'm going to show you something I'm really excited about. It's the brand new 2026 Jayco Melbourne Prestige. And I say I'm excited because, folks, we have done a complete overhaul on this motorhome. Now, new for this year, we do have a new floor plan. It is the 25 MP, which I'm sure you'll be seeing at some point on video. But today what I want to do is go over what makes the Melbourne Prestige, and also talk to you about the product enhancements that we have for this model year. So, as I mentioned, the 2026 Melbourne Prestige, right away you're going to notice that we have brand new paint package on this motorhome. That is what's going to stick out most to you. But don't get lost in that because there's other exciting things. For this model year, we have switched to the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 4500, the premium chassis. So with that premium chassis, you are going to get safety features. You're going to get a larger infotainment system, the MBUX in the center of this coach. You have wireless charging. All your Mercedes exterior lights will be LED. So a lot to love about this premium chassis, and it's on the 4500 chassis. So that bumped up our GVW. It also bumped up our cargo carrying capacity as well. Now, this is a diesel chassis. So if I had to stereotype, which I hate doing because I know a lot of times I'm going to be wrong, but if I had to stereotype what this coach is best used for, I think the best application is kind of a touring coach. You know, if you're going to go somewhere and do some long-term camping, you're probably going to be staying in a Greyhawk, maybe a Seneca, just a larger unit. Well, with this Mercedes-Benz chassis, the fuel efficiency is incredible. Really, it's one of the best that we have that we build on. So I say a touring coach because if you're starting in Indiana and then you're going to make your way out to California, it's a couple nights here, a couple nights there, but your focus is driving. So it's a great chassis for that application. And I just said I stereotype, so if that's not you, don't mark this off as a big red X. It still may fit for you. Get down to your local dealer and check it out. So great chassis we're building on. It's larger, better cargo carrying capacity, but the cool thing about that also is we were able to go from 25 feet 2 inches last model year to this year we're building our coaches 26 feet long. Why are we doing that? Well, we're doing that for a couple reasons. First of all, we want to maximize the living space inside of this coach. So adding that extra 10 inches, even though it's just 10 inches, it makes it feel exceptionally larger on the inside. But then also what it's done for us is it has allowed us to change slide systems we're using. In this scenario, this is a 25 LP floor plan. This 25 LP last year, we had a longer single slide. It was on a Schwintek system, great system, but we wanted to break that up into two different slide outs. So this year, you'll notice on the other side that we have two slides, and with that, the main one is going to be a power gear system, and then the rear bed slide is going to be a Schwintek system. So we wanted to get that separation, and you'll notice on the inside, it's just absolutely beautiful. Let's walk back this coach a minute. I just want to show you some new things on the outside. We're still using our Nerf style running bars there, our side steps. New for this year is going to be this exterior door. It is a Euro style exterior door, so built into the lower portion we do have a trash can. We have an integrated nightshade there. Great thing about that is you no longer have to open up both doors, close your shade, and then go back in. So it's integrated there, and then we also have a sliding screen to block the bugs out at night. So new for this year, we love it. It is, a lot of our dealers have seen it thus far, and they're definitely appreciative that we made this change. I don't want to overlook this side-mounted side view camera. Now this coach, we are running a rear backup camera and then also our side cameras. Now that is, both of those are displayed in an overhead rear view mirror. It's a digital rear view mirror. I point that out because not all of our competition is installing a side camera. Everybody has a rear camera, but not everybody has a side camera. So we come back a little bit further, you will notice this coach is equipped with JBL premium audio. After 6 months of ownership, all of our customers get a survey in the mail. That survey is just covering the product. What do you love about it? What are changes you'd make? What would you do differently next time? And so what we've noticed from a lot of our customers, they wanted premium audio experience. So inside the coach, we have the JBL premium audio and exterior as well. So if you're at the campsite and you just want to have some mood setting music going, or potentially you are tailgating, you want to have pregame going, it's all right here and it's very clear. So you'll notice as well, we have the square windows. We've been doing that on other product. Square windows, they look cool. They're very linear. They look nice. But what I really love about them is that on this nightshade, as I close it, there's a thermal foil on it. And so as a result, I can block out a lot of the sun's heat and the transfer into the coach. And so I get a cooler day in the wintertime. Summertime, you don't want it cooler in the winter. And then in the wintertime, we're keeping more of the heat inside of the coach. And talking about heat real quickly, right here is a Truma Combi D. That's new for this year. This is very important to you as the end user. And let me tell you why it's very important. All of our competitors are using one form or another of an on-demand hot water system. So that hot water system is running off of propane. All of our competitors as well have a traditional RV furnace. So that's 30,000 BTUs or 25 in one competitor's case. And that is pulling off of propane. Now you need to understand that when you come into a motorhome, the propane tanks are fixed on board. So unlike a travel trailer or fifth wheel that I can take that tank off, go to Walmart, go to Menards, go wherever and change out that tank, fixed on here. So when I need propane, I need to close up shop and I need to go find it. We are minimizing propane usage on this coach. So this Truma Combi D runs off of diesel fuel. So it's plumbed to my Mercedes chassis and it handles both my furnace, my heat, and then also my hot water. So it's a single system, no propane. We've just cut out a major use of propane by adding this Truma Combi D. Very important for you. I want to talk really quickly about the roof of the coach because we're not going to climb up there, and I'm guessing at the dealer's lot you're not either. This is a full one-piece fiberglass roof, fully walkable. We don't weight rate it. On that roof, you will find the WineGuard 2.0 Connect, which is a Wi-Fi range extender and also a 4G LTE hotspot. You'll find a 200-watt solar panel on the roof. We have a max fan vent up there. And then also we have a 13,500 BTU air conditioner. And then finally, I'll show you on the inside, we have a massive skylight that vents open and it adds so much light to the inside of this coach. But I'll show you that on the inside. Let's continue back overhead. We have a full-length awning, 14-foot armless awning. It has integrated LED lights. And then one more thing I want to show you on this side of the coach is we've continued that JBL audio into the rear. So it's not just a single speaker. You can be anywhere out under your awning and you are getting that ambience going with your music. Your overhead LED light kind of sets the mood for the night as you're out at the picnic table. And there again, as you're closing up shop at the end of the night, just to put your camp chairs, I put mine under the motorhome. You can put them wherever you want. You have plenty of light and you can continue your tunes while you do that. So it's been a look at the camp side of the motorhome. Let's go around and check out the rear. Alrighty, on the back side of the coach, just a couple of things I want to point out to you. First of all, we have changed our rear cap, both the lower and the upper rear cap. These are fiberglass pods now. In the past, we've used a TPO pod. The TPO pod was great. It was molded, it was formed, but at the same time, it felt a little flimsy at times. If the sun heated it up, it would feel a little bit soft. With this fiberglass, you can see this, it is very rigid, just like the sides of the coach. So with that, you're not going to get any deforming of it, nor any flexing. So we've changed that for this model year. We have also changed out the rear taillights. These are absolutely beautiful. We import these. They are very bright LED lights. So whoever's traveling behind you from a distance, you hit those brake lights or even put it in reverse with those backup lights. Plenty of illumination behind you. You will notice overhead our third brake light. That is a safety thing here at Jayco. Our goal is to make sure that you are traveling as safe as possible. So we have the third brake light on everything we build, as well as that rear overhead camera. Now down below you will see the hitch receiver. This is a 5,000-pound hitch receiver. As I say that, I want to tell you to use caution. Just because it's a 5,000-pound hitch receiver doesn't mean that's the tow capacity of this coach. So to figure out the tow capacity of this coach, you're going to take the gross combined weight rating. So gross combined weight rating means this coach, the weight of it, plus whatever you're towing. That's what Mercedes states this overall chassis can handle. So your GCW minus your GVW. Your GVW is your gross vehicle weight rating of the coach, and that gives you your tow capacity. So 5,000-pound hitch receiver. Check our website for the specs on the GC minus the GV, and it will give you the tow capacity there. So this is a look at the rear of the coach now. let's finally check out off campsite. All right, off campsite, a few things to show you, not a lot. One of the improvements we made for this model year, this Sprinter chassis is really hard for us to build on as a manufacturer just because the frame rails are so low, and it makes it difficult for us to find adequate storage. But this model year, our engineers, I think, did a great job in finding nooks and crannies here and there that we could add storage to the floor plan. So we are off campsite, as I mentioned. This first bay here is going to be our water fixtures. So this is going to be how you fill up your water tanks, your city fixtures, etc. You'll notice an outdoor shower. There's a pass-through down below for your hose so that you don't have to leave this door open. Water pump as well. This is an on-demand water pump, so as soon as you turn that on, it will pressurize your lines. It'll shut off the water pump. Then when you turn the faucet on, the water pump will kick in and continue to put water through that faucet. Down below, you will notice this door is marked with low point drain. These are rotocast compartments. I neglected to show you 2 storage bays on the camp side of the coach, so we'll get some B-roll for that. But the rear side on this is a very nice rotocast storage compartment so that you can put your camp chairs in. This is very long. You can easily get camp chairs in. I would guesstimate, I've not done it, but I know what my 6 camp chairs at home look like. I could easily get all 6 of mine in there, if not even 8. Rear bed slide. I already mentioned we broke the slide on this. Last year it was a 24 LP, this year it's a 25 LP. We broke the slide up into 2 different slide outs. One thing I want to mention in talking about these slide outs is our vacuum bonding process, our lamination process. Our walls, our roof, and our floor, they're all vacuum bonded. And it doesn't end there because all of our slide out rooms are vacuum bonded as well. So some manufacturers, they may vacuum bond or pinch roll the sidewalls, roof, floor, and then pinch roll the slide rooms. We're vacuum bonding everything, and that's very important to you because what that means is you get a solid lamination process. So the way that vacuum bonding process works is we'll lay out a sheet of fiberglass, spread a moisture activated adhesive on it, then we will lay the tubular aluminum framing, 1.5 inches, and in the voids put beadboard insulation. And then our interior wall then will go on top with adhesive under that. It goes into a vacuum press for 16 to 18 minutes depending on what we're laminating. And so what that means is it will go in there, 144 tons of pressure per square inch. And then once that adhesive starts to set up and cure, we'll leave it there till it's done. We'll take it out of the vacuum press. And then at that point, we will cut out our slide walls, and then we will also build end walls for this. But then every window cutout that we do a delamination process. And so what that means is we will cut out this window square, we'll stick it into a delaminating machine, and then that machine will actually separate the whole wall. Our goal in that separation is to see the component shred. If it shreds, it means that we've had a good moisture activation on that adhesive. If it doesn't shred and it's a clean separation, then that means the adhesive did not take and our lamination process was not good. If that ever were to happen, we would scrap the whole sidewall, the roof, the floor, whatever component did not laminate well, and then we would start over. Now the key thing here at Jayco is that delamination and poor lamination is really not an issue because our lamination facility, which we do it in-house, not everybody does that, is both temperature controlled and humidity controlled. So in the wintertime when it's really cold and dry out, or the summertime when it's hot and humid, inside the plant, it's the same temperature, same humidity year-round, so we're getting the exact same lamination process every year. So you as an end user, that's a big deal because we do give a 3-year structural warranty on this, but really, delamination, as I said, not a deal with us at Jayco. You also get a 2-year limited warranty on everything we build or put into the coach. So that was a long-winded story about this sidewall, but I felt like it was important to talk about our lamination process. Now let's get back into the storage we've added. I already mentioned that rotocast compartment. Down underneath this taller slide out, we do have another nice compartment for camp chairs, for boxes, for sleeping bags, for anything you'd like. And then down below, we have one more compartment that is rotocast. So as far as campsite storage, this is our campsite storage. I get that it's not ideal to have a lot of storage underneath your slide out, but at the same time, this is a taller bed slide. So I'm 6'3", very easy for me to get under. I could even put this in and then get all of my camping supplies out. So off campsite storage, here we are. Let's continue down the coach. You will notice slide out toppers on all of our slide outs. And then we have a bay for our propane. As I mentioned, that's fixed on board. That's 6.5 gallons or 56 pounds of propane. And then the front bay is going to be our LP generator. So on this coach, what's running off of propane will be either my generator. We do have an LP quick connect on the campsite for that griddle or gas grill if you want to cook your fish outside or your bacon outside. And then also inside the coach, you'll see one of the cooktop burners is propane. So very limited propane usage on this coach, but we still have a little bit. So this has been a look at off campsite. Now let's go inside this beautiful thing and check it out. Alrighty folks, we are inside this absolutely beautiful redesigned Jayco Melbourne Prestige. And as I mentioned on the outside, this is the 25 LP. Guys, there's a lot to love about this coach. As I said, we gutted this thing, we redid it, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I think our team came out and did a great job. And in the end, everybody who's walked in here has thought this has been an absolutely beautiful motorhome. So I want to talk quickly about what's behind me, what's around me, and then we'll flip sides and I'll show you the rear of the coach. As I mentioned on the outside, this is a one-piece seamless fiberglass front cap with an automotive bonded window in the front. So everything we build here at Jayco, doesn't matter if it's a Red Hawk SE all the way up to a Seneca Prestige Super C, we are putting this one-piece seamless fiberglass front cap on. We know that if we didn't, at some point in the future, probably the near future, your coach front overhead bunk would be filled with mold, mildew, or mushrooms. How do I know that? Because within the industry, it is notorious that front ends of coaches, the front overhead bunk will leak with water. Where does it leak? As this bunk platform goes over and meets the sidewall, there becomes a horizontal seam on the outside of the coach. Water will run down that, it will soak in, and it will ruin your walls and then also get water and moisture in this front bunk area. Now, at Jayco, like I said, Red Hawk SE all the way to the very top, the Seneca Prestige, one-piece seamless fiberglass front cap so that we can cover that seam. Anybody in the industry could do it, but honestly, they don't. Why? Because on all of our Class Cs, that is the single most expensive component we put on any Class C. Not just a Red Hawk SE, but a Seneca Prestige as well. So super expensive. And then on top of that, we've installed this automotive bonded window. So back in the day, the way RVs were built, front windows would actually be, you'd have a fiberglass surround, not just like a front cap fiberglass, not a molded one, but just a wrap sheet. Cram the router in, route out a hole, stick a compression window in there, and then with time, the UV rays would break down the seals of that window and water would start to leak in there. So we've been doing this window, we call it the Prestige style window, since model year 2017. We're the first motorhome manufacturer to start doing this. And the way we install that window is just like Mercedes installs their windshield. About a 1/4 inch recess, 3/4 inch lip. We put a brand of sealant around it that as it cures, it never gets fully hard. So going down the road, as this front cap kind of buffets from the wind, that window is able to flex with it and there's no potential for water infiltration. So Mercedes does that as well because this chassis kind of buffets going down the road, whether it's road conditions or even the wind. So they need the flex in that windshield. We need the flex in that window. So my office is right beside our warranty and customer service department. And I can tell you to date, so we started in model year 17, this is 2026. We've had 0 warranty claims for water infiltration because of that front window. So that is a big deal. We've spent a lot of money on developing that to get it right. And so just to give you a peace of mind, we've spent a lot of money on the front cap and a lot of money on development to get that window in there to protect your investment. So front overhead bunk rated at 750 pounds. Guys, that's a lot because I don't know if you know, within the industry, on this Sprinter chassis, the industry average for the weight rating on this front overhead bunk is 325 pounds. So if you ever think you're going to be using this as a sleeping area, maybe you just want to set stuff up there for storage, check out everybody else's front overhead bunk weight rating, and I can tell you we're twice that. Why is that important? Because as I mentioned on the outside, we have a 2-year limited warranty with this. Everybody else in the industry has a 1-year limited warranty on their coaches. So how can we go twice the industry standard on a warranty? I think this is a perfect example of how we can go twice the industry standard, because our engineers, I believe, over-engineer most of the time where it makes a difference, and we give you a solid coach that's going to last a very long time. Behind me, this is all Mercedes. We buy it in this way. We don't change it. The only thing we change is, as I mentioned, we add that digital rear view mirror for your side cameras and your rear backup. So coming back into the house of the coach, you will notice new for this year, absolutely beautiful power theater seats. They are beautiful. We've changed manufacturers on these. They do cost a little bit more than they have in the past, but the comfort level is extraordinary. These are very comfortable to sit in, and soft and ergonomically correct, so that's a big deal. You'll notice beside me we have some sconce lighting. As I mentioned on the outside, we carried our JBL premium audio into the inside. We worked with JBL to develop these for us. So this is a JBL speaker with sconce lighting above and below. So absolutely beautiful, gives you that audio experience you want on the inside of the coach. And this is connected to our JBL Aura Cube, which is over by the entry door. So with that, you can stream to it, Bluetooth. You can run your television through it, so you're going to have a great audio experience within this coach. As I mentioned, we have a new entry door. As I said, the integrated shade within this, and then we have our sliding screen right here. As I mentioned on the outside, the 4000 series windows. These blinds are absolutely beautiful, and what is great about these blinds is going down the road, it's not a roller shade that's just going to bang and slap and add noise to your driving experience. So our goal here at Jayco is to be the quietest riding, best handling coach at each price point. Just doing something small like adding integrated shades, it does help with the noise within this coach. Finally, one last thing I want to show you is this section. I changed it real quickly to this section. When I said one last thing, I was going to talk about one thing, but I said, no, I want to talk about another thing. So we changed our wallboard for this year. So this is an off-white. If you look really closely, there's gray cross-hatching in it. And that gray cross-hatching just kind of adds a little bit of depth to the wallboard, but looks very residential in here. We have brand new cabinet overhead doors in this. You will see that we have a full bank here of overhead cabinets that you can put longer objects in north, south, up and down these cabinets. So very beautiful for this year. So this has been a look at the front of the coach. Let's switch places and I'll show you the rear. Alrighty, we are looking at the rear of the coach, and you will notice all around me there are a lot of windows. We have added more windows to this coach than what we've had in the past. Why is that? Because you go camping, you go and travel in this coach to see the great outdoors, and if you're inside this coach on an inclement weather day, or maybe even just in here making lunch and relaxing, just let the beauty of the outdoors inside the coach. So windows surrounding all around me. As I mentioned on the outside, look at this guy right above me. This is probably the elephant in the room, if we can call it that. This is a 26 by 48 inch skylight. You will notice that it is strutted and vented behind me. Folks, this is a glorious experience coupled with that front window and the windows all around me. You let so much light in this coach, and really the whole idea of cabin fever is just gone. And then on top of that, let's say it's nighttime, and I put the power shade down on my front window, I put my night shades down on these side windows. I can also use either the bug screen / day shade, or I can bring it closed and use this night shade. This night shade does a great job blacking out, as there's nobody else in the industry doing this currently. You may get a small skylight, maybe one that cranks open or just pops open a little bit, but one this size, nobody else is doing it. And do not worry at all. We 100% PDI all of our coaches as they come off the production line. All of our coaches go through a rain bay. This guy here will not leak. We've tested it, it's been proven, and it adds a lot to this coach. So looking all around me, let's start talking about what else is here really quickly as we wrap this up. New for this year, residential size convection microwave. These are great because I can actually put a Cornish game hen in there where I cannot in my oven. So if this had an RV oven, you've got a little space. You might be able to put a pizza in there or maybe a tin of muffins. You have a heating element going underneath, and you will get a black line on the bottom of that pizza. In this microwave oven that is convection, like I said, I can put larger items in here, and I can roast them, I can bake them, I can do a loaf of bread in here, or I can do that pizza and it's convection, so I'm getting even heat all the way around. Or it's the end of the day, everybody's tired and I don't want to cook, I can get in this large 10.6 cubic inch refrigerator, 10.6, largest in the industry in this segment. Get out a big casserole of enchiladas that we had last night, pop it in there, and I can hit start, and it comes out, and it is enough to feed the whole family and the neighbors who are camping right beside. So a lot of room in that. Down below, brand new for this year as well, a combination cooktop. So on the left-hand side, I have an induction cooktop. On the right-hand side, I have a propane cooktop. So why in the world would you do that? Fair question. First reason is because I know some of you, as you're boondocking, you do not want to use your generator to really at all. I don't want to use it as little as possible. So when you're boondocking, you can use the propane side. So I'm just using propane. I'm not having to add the noise of the generator. But also when I'm at the campsite, I don't want to have to use up all my propane. Why? Because that's a limited resource. As I said, when I'm done with my propane and it's empty, I got to go somewhere and fill it up. So in that scenario, I can use my shore power with my induction cooktop skillet, and I can make what I want to make on this side. So it gives you as the end user really the best case scenario depending on the application that you're using your coach. So that's new for this year, and we have had a lot of great reviews about it. Coming back into the bedroom, I just want to point out the windows in the rear of the coach. We do have a very nice size wardrobe for this size of a coach in here. We have our front overhead bunk ladder, as well as our center table that goes in between the two cab seats, and then a nice bank of drawers on both sides, windows surrounding this bed area. Check out the beauty of the bathroom. This is kind of the grand reveal. We see it on television shows where they're doing the grand reveal of the house. This bathroom is beautiful. You will see new for this year, we have changed and went to a frameless lav mirror that's backlit. You will see that inside the shower, it is beautifully appointed with a black shower tower. But not only with that, this year we have added a shower miser. So what is a shower miser? A shower miser is a water conservation tool. So this coach, they're again leading the industry in 35 to about 45 gallon fresh water tanks. Everybody else is in the 35 range. So depending on the floor plan, we go from 35 to 45. We want to conserve that fresh water. So with that, I can turn on my shower miser. It turns into a recirculating loop. When the blue disc turns opaque white, my shower temperature is hot now. So I can close my shower miser and hot water will come out of the shower. So I've just saved about 2 gallons of water, fresh water that's limited supply inside of motorhomes. So absolutely beautiful redos for this model year. And like I said, you need to get somewhere, put your hands on this coach, get in it, experience it, and I think you're gonna fall in love with it. Again, my name is Cory Weatherton. I'm Director of Product Development here at Jayco. If you have any questions, call your local dealer. If you don't know who that is, go to our website, jayco.com. We have a dealer locator. Enter in your zip code or provincial code and enter in the product you're interested in looking at, the Melbourne Prestige, and it'll tell you who the closest dealer to you is that stocks this unit. If by chance you stump the salesperson at the dealership, always feel free to call us here at Jayco. Key thing is ask for a regional sales manager. Let us, our receptionist, know that you are looking for information on the Melbourne Prestige, and we will connect you with a regional sales manager who is responsible for dealing with questions where you live. So, like I said, absolutely beautiful. You're gonna love it. If you're looking for a touring coach on an incredible fuel-efficient chassis, I think the Jayco Melbourne Prestige may be right for you. Thanks for watching this video, and hopefully you have a great week.